All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. Happy winning Wednesday. Make sure I got my mic on. Happy winning Wednesday. This is the Wednesday, the day that the Lord has made. We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. For those of you that are coming on live, please do your boy a favor. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. And tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know we are live right here today on this beautiful Wednesday. Excuse me, on the Ramonepreston Show. It's so crazy. Every time I get in front of these lights and the heat and the rays of these lights, my sinuses start acting up. But guess what? We're going to make it do what it do today. Today is Wednesday, September the 28th. We're just a few days away from entering into the fourth quarter of 2022. And I'm doing everything that I can to help you put yourself in the best position for at least the next 18 to 24 months. So please hit the like button, hit the share button, tag somebody, let them know that we're live, and be sure to put in the comments what city you're watching your boy from. Please let me know what city you're watching your boy from. I also want to say congratulations to all of you that have signed up to our upcoming event. We have another live event that we're preparing to host in October. It's going to be the last live public event that we host for the year, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I appreciate all of you that have pre-registered, you have RSVP'd, and you're ready to take your businesses and your finances to the next level. So do me a favor today while we're live, hit the like button, hit the share button, tag somebody, put in the comments what city you're watching me from so that we can make this thing do what it do today, baby. So welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. If you don't know, now you know. I'm your host, Ramonepreston. And me, my squad, we are here on the Ramonepreston Show today, Wednesday, September the 28th, live. This is not a replay. I am live. I know sometimes I have some replays going, so we get people asking, are you really live today or are you just living a replay? No, I'm live on this beautiful Wednesday right here, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. We show up on the Ramonepreston Show, and we show up to share information with you. Information that we know can help you start, structure, and scale your business and your income streams. So if you have certain dreams and desires for your business, if you got certain aspirations and ambitions for yourself, for your family, for your money, for your legacy, what we share with you can help you make those things happen. Now, what qualifies me to know that is, number one, I live it. So everything that I share, I'm living. I don't share something that I'm not living. If I live something and it works for me, especially when it comes to business and money and success, I'm going to share it with you. And we do this not just from what I do for myself, but we do this for our clients, for our students, and for people who are a part of our business community. We have coaching programs, we have consulting services, we have online training courses that are set up and designed to help you learn the ins and outs of holding companies, creative tax strategies, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, running businesses, systems and processes, and everything in between. This is what we do every day. And so today, I want to continue the conversation that we started having yesterday. So this is part 2 on the power and the purpose of systems and processes. All right? Part 2 on the power and the purpose of systems and processes. So just in case you missed part 1 of this discussion that I've been having on the power and the purpose of systems and processes, let me just take a few moments to refresh your memory, okay? Now, first and foremost, I said to you, and I want to remind you, if you missed it, systems and processes are basically platforms. Systems, rather, are basically platforms that house information. So when I say you need business systems, or when you hear people say, oh, you need to have the right systems, what exactly are they saying? Here's what they're saying. They're saying you need certain platforms that house information. And there are certain areas that you need these platforms to house information on. So you gotta have, if you're gonna run a business and be successful in your business, you gotta have platforms that house information for your sales, for your marketing, for your financials, and for your operations. Those are like the must-haves. You gotta have systems for this. Now, once you find the systems, the CRM systems, or whatever platforms or technology that you're using for these areas of your business, now those systems need certain processes. And I told you that processes are steps that measure the results. So if you have a business and you set your business up, you got your LLC, you got your articles of organization, you got your EIN number, your Duns and Bradstreet, your bank account, you're trying to get a couple credit cards and maybe some trade lines. If you got the legal side of your business already set up, the next step is for you to start making money. It's for you to take products and services to the marketplace and sell them so you can make money. But now, the reason why a lot of people never really succeed in that next step of selling products and services is because, number one, they don't have products and services, or they don't have the right products and services. And even when they do have the right products and services and they go to the marketplace, they don't have systems or platforms that house information on what actually are they doing with their sales. Do they have some type of system that house information? Do they have marketing and financial and operational systems? So once you get the systems, once you figure out what are the technologies that exist today, what are the applications, what are the softwares, what are the platforms that I can use so that I can start tracking all this information for my sales, my marketing, my financials, and my operations. Once you find them, now you need to start creating some processes. Now you need to figure out what are the steps that I need to take to measure the results in these areas. So when I do look at selling products and services, I can track all my activities for myself, for my products, for my services, for my customers, my clients, and everything in between. So it's going to require systems and it's going to require processes. All right. So if you're still with me, I'm going into part 2 today, but I was saying that in order for you to connect systems and processes, there needs to be like this connective tissue, right? So you got platforms, you have a CRM, let's say. So you have a place where you could put names and numbers and emails of people that could buy something from you, right? You have a CRM. Let's say you got like a QuickBooks account. Let's say you got some type of platform that houses your operational activities, what you do every day as a CEO, what goes on with your vendors or whoever it is that you're working with. Let's say you got systems. Now you want to start creating processes because you want to start measuring the results of what you're doing every day, especially in these specific areas. How are you going to do it? Well, I'm saying, and this is what I teach my students and provide for my clients that I coach and consult, you can use some type of connective tissue like these 5 R's. And so this is what part 2 of today's discussion is going to be on those 5 R's. Because if you have systems, okay? Well, let me put it this way. I'm gonna say it a different way. Let's say you have a business, okay? You got a business. This is gonna be your business LLC. So whether you got a holding company and subsidiaries or just one LLC, we're not gonna get into that part. We already talked about that. But let's just say you have the business LLC, all right? And let's say you have products. You got products and you got services, okay? We're just trying to simplify this. Let's say you got products and services. So now that you got business, we'll check that. You got products and services. Now what we need is systems, okay? We need systems. We need systems for what? Sales. We need systems for, let's say, marketing. We need systems for financials. And we need systems for operations. Let's just say those are the main areas we need systems in. So we'll check the systems box. So now if you have the systems, let's say down here, you need processes. Because now you're trying to figure out, how can I create steps that measure the results of my sales, my marketing, my financials, and my operations? Because if I've got all these things situated in my business, I got my business set up, I got my products and my services, then I found systems that I'm using to house information. So now that I start marketing, now that I start making a few sales, now that I start monitoring my finances, even if all I'm doing is running my expenses through my business. If I start monitoring like every day-to-day activity that I'm doing in my business, even if I'm a solopreneur, I have a platform, I have a system, a platform that houses this information. But now I want to create steps to measure the results. I want to find out what's working and what's not working. I want to find out who's responding to me, who ain't responding to me. I want to find out what areas are giving me more results than other areas. I need to find these things out so I won't be spread thin. Do you understand what I'm saying? Well, the connective tissue is the things like I talked about, the 5 R's. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me move this down a little bit so I have a little more room. You got 5. And then you got processes. So I need to figure out how I can create a connective tissue between my platforms that I'm using to house information and my steps that measure my results. I need a connective tissue. And I think the connective tissue between those two are the examples that I gave you, the 5 R's. So the 5 R's, you got number 1, the role. And one of the reasons why I wanted to take a little time to talk about this, because if you cannot figure out these 5 R's or something similar in your business, most likely it's going to be almost impossible for you to ever hire somebody and be successful with that hire. Because let's say if you hire a virtual assistant or you outsource certain work to vendors, that still needs to be in light of these 5 R's so that you can have steps to measure the results that the vendor is doing. Because if you got people doing stuff for you, or if you doing stuff for your business that ain't working, think about it. Even outside of hiring people, if you're the CEO of your business and you haven't really clearly defined what your role is, like what is my role? So you want to start with the role. So what is the role? The role identifies your general position. Your general position. Okay, so I'm giving you like as much information as I can on a live show. In order for you to get all this information, of course, you got to have access to my courses, or I need to be coaching you or consulting you to help you work through this. But I'm giving you as much as I can on a live show. So you need to make sure you understand what your role is. If you're a solopreneur, you the CEO, figure out what is your role. In other words, what is the general position that has been assigned to you within your organization? All right? You have to figure that out. So whether you're the CEO, whether you got an assistant, whether you have somebody that's creating content for you, whether you got a salesperson, what is the role? So if you're the CEO, if you're the executive of your business, what is your role? That you need to know what your role is. Your role is going to identify your general position. Once you identify your general position, then you need the second R of responsibility. Now your responsibility is your individual task. Okay, you need to know what your individual task is. So the responsibility identifies each individual task that you are required to perform within your role. So let's say if you are the CEO, that's your role. I'm the CEO of my business LLC. Okay, what is my responsibility? You need to start crafting out what your responsibility is. Because if you don't figure this out for you, then you ain't gonna be able to figure it out for nobody else. So every time you bring somebody on, even if you outsource it to somebody as a virtual assistant, what are they doing? They probably don't even know what their role and responsibility is if you don't. So if I'm a CEO and I don't know what my role is, my general position in my company, and I don't know what my individual tasks are, so I have to be able to be clear on, my name is Ramonepreston, I'm the CEO, and my individual task or my responsibility for this role is to what? My responsibility is to what? Okay? You've got to clarify that. Now, the good thing is, if you don't know how to clarify that, if you don't know how to put these types of things together, this is really what some people may call building out an organizational flow chart. Okay? So if you don't know how to do this, all I'm saying to you is either you learn it on your own and figure it out, or you get information and access to the courses and content that we have available in our Millionaire Blueprint so you can put this together. But you gotta have this. At some point, if you're gonna run a business and you want your business to be successful, you gotta figure this stuff out. Otherwise, you're gonna be running yourself thin. Like a lot of people, most people are solopreneurs. Like 99% of the businesses that exist today are just ran by the person who owns it, or the two people, the couple who owns it. And it never gets beyond that. Most businesses never get beyond just the owners. They never get to having real employees, you know, payroll, staff. They never build out an organization because they never know how to create these products and services, systems and processes, and have the connective tissue in between. Okay? So you have your role, that's your general position. Everybody in your business needs to have a role. They need to have a general position. So if you go to anybody that works for my company and ask them, what is your role? What is like your general position? They're going to tell you. If you ask them what are their responsibilities, even if they can't articulate it perfectly, they're going to let you know what the main things are that they are responsible for. And if they don't word it right, they can go to a paper or go to some file and pull it up. Like I just pulled it up and say, hey, here's what my role is responsible for, or here what the responsibilities are that I have within this role as a whatever. You got to have the same thing for your business, especially if you're going to run it. You can't expect for somebody to put this stuff together for you, especially if you're a solopreneur. And you can't look at other businesses that may have been like exceptions. You know, we look at Facebook and we look at Instagram and we look at WhatsApp and we look at Uber and a lot of these tech companies, and we think everybody company gonna be like theirs. Everybody company ain't gonna be like theirs. Most companies have to start from the ground up with the solopreneur figuring these things out. The solopreneur got to figure out, here's what the solopreneur got to figure out. The solopreneur got to figure out sales, marketing, financials, and operations. The solopreneur has to put the business together. The solopreneur got to figure out what the products and services are going to be, if they can make money. The solopreneur got to take them products and services to the market, knock on doors, call people, email, give presentations, go to events, and try to sell them. And try to tweak it as they go. Then when they finally start figuring out how to make money, now they got to create systems, platforms in these 4 areas. Now, while they're still trying to make money and build systems, they got to figure out, do they have some wiggle room to bring people on? Most of the times they never get to that point, because even while it's just them, they don't figure out, wow, what am I supposed to be doing? What is my responsibility? So you got the role, you got responsibility, and number 3, you got the routine. This is what I've been talking about. You have the routine. So now you need to figure out, what is your routine? Your routine identifies specific details. Specific details within the routine identifies specific details of the process within each responsibility. So let me give you an example just with these 3 so I don't lose you, okay? let's say somebody has a role of a salesperson, okay? So you have a role of a salesperson. So this role is a salesperson. That's the general position. What would their responsibility be? Well, their responsibility would be a sales consultant or salesperson must make outbound calls, inbound calls, send emails to prospects, set consulting appointments, follow up with prospects, maintain communication with existing clients, and generate leads. So now the person that has the role of a salesperson, they know what their responsibility is. So what would their routine be? Now you got to look at what are the specific details of the process of them doing those things. Well, their routine will be to make outbound calls, gather at least 100 phone numbers, or 200, or 50, or 20, execute the company sales process, stick to the script, and schedule an appointment and close deals. So now, if you got a salesperson who has a role of a salesperson, they know what their responsibility is and they know what their routine is. Every day they show up, you know, okay, you got to have 50 people to call. You got to give presentations. You got to use our script. You got to make sure that you're on the phone talking to at least 20 people. So now I'm going to start building something to measure the results. This is going to be the same thing you do with the marketer, the content creator, the personal assistant, the administrator. They're going to have a role. They're going to have certain tasks for that role, which are responsibilities. They're going to have a routine, specific details of that process. And then the next one is the reach. So what is the reach? The reach identifies a specific measurement. So now I can start measuring the impact that the role, the responsibility, and the routine is making. So for example, a salesperson must make a minimum of 100 outbound calls a day. So that would be their reach. So now I know if somebody has a role of a salesperson and their responsibility is to make calls, answer calls, send emails, generate leads, and they have a routine of what they have to do every day. And there's a reach, there's a certain number of things that has to happen. Or if it's an administrator, there's a certain number of data they have to put in, number of phone calls or appointments they have to set, or whatever the things are. At least I can start quantifying and measuring if what this person is doing or if what I'm doing is actually working. Because again, it could just be you. There was a time it was just me. I was the salesperson, I was the marketer, I was the financial person, I was the operator. So what did I have to do? I had to wake up every day and I had to put some type of schedule together to determine how much work am I going to put in for sales, how much work I'm going to put in for marketing, how much time I'm going to take out to reconcile my QuickBooks, and how much administrative work am I going to do to put flyers together or to make curriculum for my clients or to tweak my website. I had to figure that out and I had to do it all by myself, okay, as a solopreneur. But if I did not have some type of flow chart to keep me moving in the right direction, maybe I would spend too much time in operations and not enough time in sales. Or maybe I get stuck on QuickBooks too much and I should be marketing. So you see what I mean? You have to figure these things out, and you got to do this before you bring people into it. Because if you ain't got this stuff figured out and you bringing people into your business trying to help you, you bringing them into a mess. You bringing them into something that ain't even put together. You don't even know what to do, and then you mad at them because they ain't doing nothing and they ain't helping you. They don't know what to do. You got to figure this stuff out yourself first. How do I figure it out, Ramon? Get the information. You got to make that decision, and you got to make it up in your mind and accept the fact that you can listen to people like me on the internet all you want to. You can Google, you can go to YouTube and just binge watch, but at a certain point, you have to find a place that you can go to that has a centralized amount of information that you can start deep diving, getting these things and putting them together. Otherwise, you just gonna be jumping around, and then 8 months from now, you still ain't got nothing done, and you confused because you listening to too many people. And if you just listen to me, because I tell this to people all the time, you can listen to me over and over again on social media, but you're only getting so much. I'm only giving you so much information. So that's either gonna be good or bad. It can be good because it gives you enough to know, okay, at least he knows what he's talking about, so I want more, and so I'm gonna go ahead and connect with him. Or bad, you listen to it and you like, man, this ain't enough. You just giving me pieces. What you expect? We're on the internet. We're doing shows. We're putting videos together. We can't give you 18 days worth of information in an hour. You get what I'm saying? You got to make the decision to come in closer and get access to that other stuff. That's just the way it works. And the world works like that. So what we doing on the internet ain't nothing new. Because guess what? There are things that I need as a business owner because of where I want to go in my business. Guess what I got to do? I got to find the people who got the information. I got to at least listen to them to see if they got what I want, and I know I need it, and I'm willing to make the decision. But at some point, I got to call them. I got to click the link. I got to sign up for something, and I got to pay and swipe my card and say, okay, I'm in. And then I got to commit myself to getting all that information. So the same thing I'm telling you, the good part about it, I do, because I have people that teach me. I have a coach. I'm a part of programs where I get education and training. I got to sit down and watch videos and be on coaching calls and sit in front of Zoom video screens and deep dive. How else am I going to become a billionaire? How else am I going to get to where I want to go if I don't do it? Well, you got to do the same thing in these areas as well. So you got role. This is your general position, right? You have responsibility. This is your individual task. Routine, specific details. Reach, this is the measurement. And then you got result. You got result. And result identifies the amount of money, the amount of revenue. This is the amount of revenue and overall impact that was made from these other four. So for example, if a salesperson made 100 calls a day and they spoke to 30 people and they scheduled 8 appointments and left 40 messages and closed 5 deals, you'll be able to know everything that happened in that process. And now you can take that information, you can take all this information, and what you should be doing with that information is documenting it, documenting that information so that at some point you can duplicate that information. Does that make sense? So now I can look and see, oh, okay, this is what a salesperson did. They had a general position, that was their role. They had a responsibility to do a certain task. They had a routine, specific details that explained their process of what they were doing. They had a certain measure, a number that they had to hit for the task that they were doing. And now we can see the result. What was the revenue impact? Now, again, sometimes there are certain roles that don't have a direct revenue impact. There are some people that do certain things that it might not directly hit the bank account, or it might not have a direct impact on the revenue like a salesperson, but you can at least see what the results were. These are like the KPIs. These are the key performance indicators. But how do you get to the KPI? How do you get to the point to where you can look at your systems? You could go to a platform and look at your sales, your marketing, your financials and operations and see what everything is and how the things that have been done impacted those areas. How are you going to see those KPIs? You got to have some type of, you have to have some type of process, some type of steps. These are the steps that help you measure your results. Now, I would love to know from you if you have systems and processes in place. I would love to know if you do, and how are they working for you? Are you able to measure all those different results in every area of your business? Now, if you are a solopreneur, listen to me on this. I know it's hard for you because if you're not making enough money, you still working a job and you're trying to juggle both. I know it's hard, but this is why you have to educate yourself and learn to become a better version of you, because you're going to have to build a big muscle and have to have a lot of capacity to be able to go hard doing all these things at one time. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. I had to do it. I'm telling you, I had to do it. And to some extent, I still do it. I still don't shy away. I mean, literally, I walked into the office today, sat at my desk. I have my phone by my desk. My computer was already on. Thank God for my personal assistant. She always makes life easy for me. I just sat at my desk. I pulled up my CRM, and guess what I started doing? I started making phone calls. It's just the salesperson in me. I'm like, man, I need to talk to some people today. I need to get some activity going. I need to just get wins before I even do anything else. And I did that all the way up until it was time for me to come in here and do the show. And so think about it. That was sales. I was doing sales earlier. I'm calling, I'm emailing, I'm having conversations on the phone, I'm asking people questions, I'm calling people to thank them, I'm following up, all that sales. Then I come in here, this is education, this is somewhat operational, but it's also marketing. So I don't mind jumping around, but how can I do those things so easy? Like, we host headquarter days, we host days, and I got this idea from my mentor. We host days and give our clients opportunities to come to our office, our headquarters, and to just see the ins and outs of what we're doing. Listen, I'm proud of what I've created. The fact that we have a 7-figure, $1 million organization, probably multi-million-dollar if we just liquidated everything. But the fact that we've done what we've done, I'm proud of it. Nobody else ain't got to be proud of it. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my company. I'm proud of my organization. I'm proud of my staff. I'm proud of everything that I have done. And nobody has to remind me of any of these things, okay? But I'm bringing it up to say that we give people an opportunity to come here and see how we operate on a day-to-day basis. And I've had so many people to say, man, I don't even see how you do all this stuff, because you just know everything. You know all the ins and outs. You know why? Because there was a time I had to do it all. Was I overwhelmed? Was I burdened? Was I stressed? Was I ready to give up? All that and more. I've been burdened. I've been stressed. I've been overwhelmed. I've been ready to give up thousands of times, but still I had to figure out a way to push through it, to learn, to study, to grow. Think about it. You could start learning today. You could start changing the way you run your business today. You could change your situation today, but you just can't look at it like, man, I'm so far away. I got so much to learn. It's okay. If you start today, you'll be a little bit closer tomorrow. If you do something today, you'll be a little bit more knowledgeable tomorrow. If you move forward today, you'll be closer to the finish line tomorrow. If you don't do nothing today, then tomorrow you wake up and you're burdened, you're overwhelmed, you're stressed, you feel like giving up because you didn't do anything today. So every day you just have to do something towards that. If you don't know what to do or how to do it, you just lack information. That's all you lack. That's all you lack. All you lack is information. All you lack is the right information and education and training and support in the areas that actually help your business grow and help your money grow. If you get the information, if you put yourself in a position to learn it and study it and grow and become a better person from it, it's going to automatically move you forward. So with that being said, you need access to this information. You need to learn about how to put systems and processes together. You need to be able to use that LLC as a vehicle for financial freedom for you and your family. All you need to do is reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to take a few minutes to listen to what you're doing, to figure out where in your business you have areas that need to be fixed. I'll be more than happy to show you and share with you what needs to be done and give you access to the information. We have online training courses that can provide education for you on all the things that I'm talking about. We have a coaching program that if you need time for me and my team to work with you and to be in a community where you can be nurtured and helped and supported, we have that. If you already have certain things in play and you really don't have the time to educate yourself like that, or you don't have the time to be a part of a coaching program, we have consulting services. We can just consult you. We can have a couple sessions, figure out what needs to be put together, help put it together for you, and get you moving forward. So whatever the case is, you still need to reach out to me. So I want to urge you and encourage you to text the word millionaire. Why do I want you to text the word millionaire? Why am I always asking people to text the word millionaire? Number one, I want you to do business with me. I mean, that's why I want you to text the word millionaire. I want you to do business with me. But in addition to you doing business with me, I want you to text the word millionaire because I want you to text the word that I want you to become, at least a millionaire. So I want you to start getting it in your mind that you're going to be one and you can become one. So text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. That's all you need to do. The sooner you do that, the better off you're going to be. I already know it. Because you're getting information, you're getting education and training and coaching and wisdom and support from somebody who started all this stuff solo dolo, dog. Solo dolo, sis. I started it all from scratch. I had to figure all this stuff out. I was the CEO. I was the salesperson. I was the marketer. I was the financial person. I was the bookkeeper, the operator, the IT person, the website manager. I was everything. I've done it all. And that's why I could jump in and out of those things. Do you have to do them all? No, you don't necessarily have to do them all, but you at least have to be knowledgeable of the business in its entirety enough to know who to bring in, and when you bring them in, how to create the systems and the processes for them so that you can manage them, so that you can monitor what they're doing. If you don't do it first and figure that out, it'll never happen, okay? So just text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. 404-478-7213. We'll reach back out to you. Take a few minutes to find out what exactly you're doing in your business and what areas you need some help, some information and support in, and we'll let you know what we have to offer, and we can make that happen today, get you signed up, get you plugged in to get you going and growing. So you're ready? I'm ready. We're here at the office on this beautiful Wednesday, September the 28th, right here at Ramonepreston Enterprises, always available, always open and ready to answer your questions and to help you get to your next level. So with that being said, we're getting ready to bring this show to a close. So if you have learned something or have heard something that really resonates with you, I want you to give me some feedback. Please put in the comments what your biggest takeaway was from today's show, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page and follow me on all other platforms at Ramonepreston. Appreciate you. I love y'all. Thank you for joining the show today. I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time, right here, 12 o'clock noon on the